So Planet Coaster 2 had a very rocky start, we all agree, and it's been a very rough first month with the game. But in my opinion, with Update 3, we have hit the break even. What I do mean by that, we'll get to that at the end of the video. But first, let's have a little overview of what Update number 3 brings to the table, and even though it may not look as chunky, I'm gonna tell you later why I think this is exactly the update that was needed to make this game the successor we've been waiting for and to lay the foundation to what will become, hopefully, the game that we all have dreamed about. So let's get into it by looking at update number 3. Right, so we are here in a little test park I have done with the blueprint of the Salute Stormer you have potentially already seen. This one is fixed. The POV of this ride will be uploaded either today or tomorrow on the channel, and there is a couple of other things in here. But first things first, let's quickly go through all the stuff that has been added to update number 3. So we are starting with the Western stuff, going through the coasters and the de-themed coaster tracks, and then we're going to move over here to our river rafts and blah blah, not river rafts, but like to the you know, all the slides and flumes and so on. Despite the fact I have no idea whether people do not go onto them, but you know, that will be something we are going to fix later. So let's quickly start with the Western theme, and potentially my favorite thing about this is that I have been wrong. I gotta admit that. I didn't think we need a new theme so badly, but hey, we didn't. We did need that badly because of all these very generic pieces, starting with some of the bracket pieces. Going further into it, we'll find a lot of other things that are super useful. I did a couple of mistakes over here, by the way. But yeah, so this pack over here is really, really amazing because it adds so many things. And I've seen Ruble Trillions uploading a video. I may actually put a little thumbnail on here and the link to his video, because he did a wonderful Main Street build with it, with the Western set mostly. I guess he said like 80 to 90% the pieces used are from the Western set, which just shows how freaking insane this pack is in terms of versatility. And, you know, I'm just going to quickly go in here and going to show you the menu. I'm not going to lay them all down, but we can actually go into the scenery packs and then have the Western pack enabled. And hold on, what the heck, I have no favorites, that's why. And then I'm gonna open the menu a little bit to show you how that all looks. So there are quite a lot of pieces, as you can tell from the menu. We've got 2 different wall sets, or actually 3, I don't even remember. So we've got the vertical wooden beams, and then we've got the horizontal wooden beams from almost like the same set. And we also have like a, oh no, it's actually basically the same. I think it's 2 at the end, and we've got some other sets that fit well into that. So this is very wonderful, but we also got a whole bunch of these wonderful brackets over here, and as you can tell, everything obviously is scalable. But I guess you have seen that in so many videos already, so I don't want to bother you too much with this over here. I also want to check if there's one little bug they hopefully have fixed. Let me just check out if they I don't want to put someone on the spot here, but let's have a look. Yeah, it's fixed. So this one over here unfortunately wasn't flexicolor when I was putting that down in the early access we had, but now it is, so that's very good. So yeah, so they brought this to the table, but they also brought a couple of other things into the game. First things first is the returning coaster. This is a inverted vector of a coma inverted coaster, which is going to jump on board while I'm talking about this. This type of coaster is very well known. It's maybe also very well known for its rough ride, but it's a classic. It's a theme park classic. And the I'm not sure if this is even the layout of also the one Eraser. I'm not sure if it is. No, it's definitely not. But like the MP Express, it's called by now in the Europa Park. Not Europa Park. It's actually the, what's that? Movie Park Germany. That's what it's called. It used to be called the Eraser, but now it's the MP Express. It is definitely a good coaster, but again, in terms of realism, they are quite rough by now, and this is why B&M certainly is potentially the better ride when it comes to the inverted ones. But it's a classic, and it's in so many parks, and I'm very happy to have it back. And obviously the difference is also that this one is a 2-seater, while the B&M version is a 4-seater. So it's going to be a 2-seated or 2-seater inverted coaster. Again, I do find this kind of train design also super generic. So it's not like that we need a generic one. one for this one, but as you can tell, in the customization you can't change the track over the train here over here anyways. But where you can do this is with the launch coaster. So we've got the top deck over here, and we do change, we can actually change the vector now. It's the standard train. It used to be the rocket kind of themed one, but as you can see, this is the de-themed version of that one. And we've got another de-themed version, which is this one over here, which is the Automax launched coaster. So the Intermin Formula Rosso, I want to say, is one of the best examples of that one. And you can see the other one. Hold on. This is the themed one, as you can tell. And what's really cool is we got, obviously, the scenery pieces from that again. So let's quickly get rid of this one. And I think it's going to be... Is it called tire or wheel? It's the wheel, there you go. We have the Coaster Attachment Race Car wheel now, which is this one. And if you have seen my latest episode of Hanseatic Dreamland, I was struggling to get a proper wheel in. But now, as you can tell over here, we have this one. And we can actually create ourselves a wonderful wheel for like the go-kart tracks or so, maybe even. And like this is something that was missing in game and is now just part of it because of the de-themed version. Really big fan of this change. It's a subtle one, but I like it, and I really have to replace my custom-made ones because they are like very piece heavy, piece intensive. So gotta have to change this one. So that's been it about the coasters mostly. Again, the returning theme also comes with, which I want to quickly show you. It's not only the theme, but it also comes with the good old two fonts, the Rancho and the Arbutus, or what's it called? Arbutus. These were the typical fonts, and this is the Western font, which is kind of cool. So this is the one we have. But now let's move over to the slides, and I'm not sure why no one is going onto it. I'm going to quickly fix that. You don't need to bother me fixing this, so I'll be back as soon as it's fixed. Right, that was down to my stupidity. People obviously couldn't do anything because, well, I didn't have changing rooms. Now, as we have changing rooms, we are in here, and my God, that is the best thing to show you today. I can't wait to show you the slides in action. I was one of the most vocal ones when it came to the slides, how bad and how poorly I found them realized in terms of how they looked. And now, that just kind of changed. Not entirely, well, actually, I would say entirely. Because there's a certain limit to what is needed to make them good, and here we are. So obviously the most visually obvious change is that we have the round Flume floors now, and we also have apparently the rafts now confirming with the kind of Flume itself, as you can tell. Well, over here, as you can see, they bend correctly, with the people even seated in here, and then they all tumble out of here. I find this hilarious. Oh, there's even one still lying in here. What is this person doing now? Are you still standing in here? Hold on, wait. Are you gonna be kicked off? Hold on, wait. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. Yes! Oh my lord, that was fun as hell. Are you panicking now? Oh, you're panicking now. Oh my god, okay. Didn't know that this was gonna happen. Oh yeah, these people are trapped. Let me just quickly untrap them. Just gonna give them a little bit of a pathway here. You just leave over here, okay? This is a little trap. They can all leave. I mean, if people go here, over here, they will be potentially trapped over here as well. So just gonna quickly fix that. You know, these couple of seconds we do have, so let's just quickly do this. There you go, all fixed. Okay, now, apparently this is the ride we've looked at. Looks pretty good, but we can also check up on here when they go through the corner. Now, they also go, oh, look at that. Accordingly to speed, they go up the sides. And I must say they have even improved this from what we've seen in the demos. So, is this thing opened? Yes, no assigned staff. Okay, I'm gonna give you a bit of more staff over here, the ride attendant. I've got too little of those, so I'm just gonna make this real quick happen. So there we go. Hopefully there's going to be one very soon. And then looking at this thing over here, hopefully it's going to start soon. Yeah, there you go. This one is very apparent. I built this so that you can really see how fun that is. As you can see over here, that was very, very short. And then, woo, people fly over here. Ooh, that just hurt. That just hurt. I think they are all now going to panic. Yeah, they're going to panic. Now, if you want to avoid that, and this is exactly what I wanted to showcase is, yes, I want to edit this one. I'm going to get rid of this thing, and I'm going to turn this around the corner a little bit more. I'm not sure if they will be going in here and going to be hurt, but what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down, and then we're going to make this like go up a little bit more and shorten this so that they are really going to be jetted off here, but hopefully then land in the pool itself. So here we go, that's that. And what we can obviously do with this corner over here, as this was a little bit problematic, you now obviously need to ensure that we have a higher side. Wait, hold on, why is it not happening? There you go. Now this side is going to be higher, and that looks a lot better now once the ride goes through in here. Just first of all test the one, so we can see that. I mean, I just look at the change, look at how different that now kind of feels and looks and is. It just really, it's, to me personally, that is absolutely insane how much of an improvement that is. Now we can actually see this with people now. I should have installed the cheat engine, but look at that. I really love that. Look at how close that was to falling them down. Then we go over here into that one, and yay! And also physically almost accurate, I would say. Boy, I really love that. Then apparently we have now the ability to have pieces being transparent, the end piece and also the starting piece over here, just to show you 2 examples. And now we can also check out this ride, how they handle this. I haven't seen how it's looking in that corner over here. Let's quickly check out how this looks. Okay, well that still is a bit of a painful thing. Usually that should be different, but honestly I don't even understand this element anyways. So look at how they come crashing out of here. Damn, I love that. Following them down here. Look at that. And you know, obviously now people are glitching into the ride with some feet here and there. And you know what? I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less, because honestly I'd rather have this perfectly conforming people just going crashing through here. And let's have a look if we can catch someone coming around the corner, and hopefully being relatively quick around the corner with like going high up the tube with like physically accurate. Let's see where the next one is coming. Are you coming down here? Because there's a lot of speed building up. They should be relatively high up here in that corner. Okay, there's someone coming. Let's have a look how that is going to be happening. Come on, get out of here. There you go. Oh my god, that is so good. Have you seen how they're crushing it? Yeah, as you can tell from my reaction, I am fairly happy with these changes. I want to go that far that this is exactly how it should have been. But now, if they're even going to tweak a tiny little thing here and there with like some of the special elements, I'm so sold. I'm so freaking sold. Like even these rafts all conforming correctly to the ride, for me personally, is already such a win. But also in this specific ride over here with the 2 rings, it still does work pretty freaking good. I just, like, it all feels so much more as it should. It all feels so much more realistic. It all feels so much more, just like relatable to how it would be in real life. And I, all of a sudden, have such an urge to build a kind of a park with slides and flumes now, which is super cool. And one other thing I just wanted to check upon is also the people in the normal body flumes are now conforming a little bit more nicer to the sides, you know, a bit more accurate. They also go higher in these turns and so on. Really nice changes. As you can see that better in the tube, by the way, if they come in here. Ooh, that was a little bit too quick. I'm just going to follow them next time around when they're here. Down there you can see. Yeah, well, they're pretty quick, but that works. If you build them even more steep, then they will also go higher up the side. So that definitely works a lot better. I gotta say, the body flumes may the ones that I'm not 100% happy with. So this is where the tiny bit of criticism from my side comes in. But all over, I'm super happy. And then, apparently, there are a bajillion changes under the hood. I'm not going to go through all of that. And one of the things, by the way, that is also a new factor, you can see this is Sandbox Park in one of the career maps, as you can tell. I'm here in that little map that is next by the sea or by a river. I guess by a river, we should tell. It's a very tiny park, but if you're up for like a tiny project, this would be a very cool Sandbox Park with like a beach area down here. I wish they would give us a chance to really build really up to the side over here, like to really make sure that you can do that. But also I like the kind of waves and so on, how that looks, so it gets the whole thing a bit more realistic. Mega. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of that. We also have a couple of other things, just the major things I'm going to quickly read out. We also have some economy balancing, more responsive pricing for priority pass. Guest population is now more consistent and is more responsive to park rating. Pool priority passes can now be refunded. And park scene rating is directly linked to guest visual experience. So not only spamming stuff to places where you can't see it, people really need to see the scenery around. Then we also have some updates to the multi-select tool, which to be honest is very amazing. You can see there are a couple of new things. There is also now the option to apply filter to a selection, or you can, like this is something new because beforehand you needed to change that all like so, and then you needed to click away and select again. But now you can say, all right, you know what, I just wanted to have path, and then you say apply filter and you only have path selected without needing to drag over again. So that's pretty cool. Which I think, and there's also some cool stuff with the demolish tool. Hold on, you can do this with the demolish tool too, which is pretty damn cool. And now you can have a bit more of an option, like all of these things are in here, all have their respective icons now. So that is really cool. And then there are, as I said, so many bug fixes. And one last thing, obviously, as we have right audio, we can change the music. And as you can tell, there is also music style is now Western. And we do have a couple of these things in here. So we have El Townsville, Spaghetti Roller Coaster, Around the Campfire, Western Piano. We can even listen to them. This is obviously the Planet Coaster sound in Western. Ding. Spaghetti Roller Coaster, and Around the Campfire. So that's very cool. We also have Western Piano. That's amazing. All right, I'm going to go for El Townsville, by the way. So, all right, now what we're going to do, we are going to basically set ourselves the camera down here for my little outro, because I promised you to talk about why I personally think that we have hit the break even. Now, Planet Coaster 2, as I said, has had a launch that wasn't really fortunate for no one. Not for Frontier, not for us as players, and not for us as creators, I may say. I've been accused, firstly, to being way too negative and that I'm, with my toxic behavior, the reason why this game is so bad, which, you know, it would be crazy if I have that much influence. You know, tell me please if I have, because then I will do some other things in life maybe. No, I'm just kidding. And apparently then people have said I'm awfully positive now and I'm super biased and whatever. None of these is true apparently. I'm neither too positive, neither too negative. You can decide which side you are on, but I have always been vocal about the changes. And just to get this across, we are not there yet, okay? So I still think that weather has to receive a complete overhaul. Weather, as much as I was looking forward to weather, I'm playing this game without weather because for me personally it has no impact and it looks visually not pleasing. So I'm staying to the same that I always had with Planet Coaster 1, which is a big fail because now we have weather in. But I didn't want to talk about the things that are bad now because there is a whole roadmap in front of us. Next week there's the next Frontier Unlock and I'm assuming that we'll get another view on the May update then. So we are getting restaurants relatively soon. We are getting many more updates in the coming weeks. We've received an additional set without having to pay for that. So, at the end of the day, I think we are at ground zero, if you will, if that's the wrong wording though, but we are at point zero, I should say. This is the version of the game. If the game would have been launched like this, I would have said, yes, that's it. We can work from here. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a decent, wonderful follow-up on the first game. And from now on, and we're half a year in, from now on, we can work on the future. My biggest pain point was mostly about the slides and the flumes and about the certain things that were lacking from the first game, just like right syncing and a couple of other things that we now all have in the game. De-themed coasters is something completely new. I love that fact. I love the change. This game is at a state right now that I would say this is absolutely fine. You know, it's not great, but it's fine. From now on, we shall look into the future. We shall looking into making this game also as a community better than before, not, you know, kind of trying to hammer it in Frontier even more and more and going all into the bad reviews. I know, and this is unfortunately a problem of the Planet game franchise in itself. Unfortunately, we have very individual bugs. I most certainly had very few bugs lately. For me, the game was really working fine, but that doesn't, you know, make the same for everyone, or not everyone has the same. I know that other people have a lot of issues. I remember with the late designer in the Planet Zoo times, sometimes her game was totally broken and I had no issue, and then the next update completely fixed Lady's issues, and all of a sudden I had all the issues. So unfortunately, this game seems to be very individual in terms of the bugs and fixes required. But looking at the issue tracker and what they have done again with this update, they are more than hardworking on fixing most of the things. And maybe there are a lot of fixes that were also necessary for me that I haven't occurred or actually seen before. But yeah, so what do you think? Do you think this game, if it would have launched like this, how would you have rated the game? Imagining this game like it is today with update 3 included, how would you have reacted if that would have been the game Frontier would have released half a year ago? Let me know in the comments, but my opinion is clear. I think I would have been fine with it. Not awfully happy, but fine. And from now on, I have a super urge to play the game again, to create a lot of content. There will be a lot of content apparently in the coming days, and most likely we're going to do a one-off build with the Flumes, because I can't wait to do that. I'm so freaking happy about the changes, and we're going to make them work. So thank you so much for watching. As always, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to spread the word about this update. And don't forget to tell me how you would have been rated this game if this would have been launched in this state. Anyways, see you then, have a good time, and bye!